Travel isn't a checklist. Why slower trips create better stories. Welcome back, friends, to the Traveling Cheesehead podcast, where we talk about places with personality, food with a story, and road trips that actually feel like travel. I'm Dannelle Gay, your host, and today we're talking about something almost every traveler feels at some point, but not enough people talk about honestly. Travel exhaustion. Not the funny, I need a vacation from my vacation kind. The real kind, the kind that creeps in when travel starts to feel rushed, crowded, overplanned, and somehow still incomplete. Today we're talking about why travel isn't a checklist and why slowing down doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. In fact, slowing down might be the reason your best travel stories exist at all. When did travel quietly turn into a to-do list? Somewhere along the way, travel became performative. We didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. Must-see lists, top 10 attractions, articles that say, if you don't do these 5 things, you wasted your trip. We plan like we're afraid of missing something. Or worse, afraid someone will ask us later, did you see this? And we'll have to admit, no, I didn't. So we stick to itineraries and stack them. We rush meals. We move from place to place without ever fully landing. And when we get home, tired, not fulfilled, and we can't quite explain why. So here's the truth we don't often hear enough. Seeing more does not automatically mean experiencing more. Sometimes it means just the opposite. When everything is urgent, nothing is meaningful. You're technically there, but mentally you're already thinking about parking, timing, traffic for that next stop. Slower travel isn't about doing less. It's about doing fewer things better. And that, my friends, distinction matters. What does slowing down actually look like? Let's clear something up. Slower travel does not mean sitting still all day. It doesn't mean skipping everything, and it definitely doesn't mean being bored. Slowing down looks like spending extra time somewhere that feels good, letting a conversation finish instead of checking the clock, saying no to something that feels like an obligation, leaving space for curiosity. Some of my favorite travel moments didn't come from planning. They came from staying a little longer than I intended. A second cup of coffee because the place felt just right. An extra lap around a museum because one exhibit really stuck with me. It just resonated with my soul. A walk that wasn't on the itinerary, but became the memory. Those moments don't photograph well for social media, but they live a long time in your head. You know, there's that whole myth of missing out. A lot of rushing comes from fear of missing out, FOMO, fear of regret, fear of not doing enough. But here's the honest truth. You are always missing out on something. You can't see everything. You can't experience every angle of a place. It's not possible to capture it all. And that's not a failure. It is reality. Travel isn't about completion. It's about connection and letting yourself be in the moment and relax. When you slow down, you stop worrying about what you didn't do and start appreciating what you did. I think slower travel creates better stories. Think about the travel stories you tell the most often. They're rarely about how many things you checked off. They're about the conversation that ran long, the place you didn't expect to love, the wrong turn that led to somewhere better, that afternoon you just didn't plan. Those stories exist because you had space for them. Slower travel gives experiences room to unfold, and unfolding is where meaning lives. Road trips make this so much easier if you let it happen. Road trips are built for slower travel, at least in theory. There's no boarding time, there's no gate closing, there's no one telling you when to move on. But the pressure to rush still sneaks in there. Miles to cover, places to reach, lodging to get to before dark. Slowing down doesn't mean abandoning your plan. It means loosening your grip on it a bit. It means understanding that arriving tired and stressed is not a badge of honor. A small shift can change everything. Instead of asking, how much can we fit in? Try asking, what do I want to remember from this trip? That question changes how you choose. You will linger longer, say no more easily, and feel less pressure to perform. Suddenly, your entire trip feels lighter. I think slowing down is an act of confidence. Here's something that we just don't say often enough. Slower travel requires confidence. Confidence to skip things. Confidence to disappoint expectations. Confidence to trust your own curiosity. When you slow down, you're saying, I know what matters to me and I don't need to prove it. That's pretty powerful. You need to give yourself permission to travel differently. So, consider this your permission slip, guaranteed from me, signed on the corner, I's dotted and T's crossed. You do not need to see everything. You do not need to keep up with anyone else's pace. You do not need to justify skipping something that just simply doesn't excite you. The goal isn't to impress anyone. The goal is to come home with memories that feel like they are yours. We've talked about travel themes. That's a great way to help all of this happen for you. Make the trip and the memories feel like yours. Figure out your travel theme so that you can slow down and see what actually matters to you. So here's my final thoughts on this subject, folks. Slower travel is not lazy. It isn't boring, and it definitely isn't doing travel the wrong way. It's intentional, it's grounded, and it's often where I think the best stories live. So the next time you're tempted to squeeze just one more thing in on your itinerary, ask yourself, does this add to my story, or is it just added to the list? If this episode felt like the reminder you didn't know you needed, I'd love it if you'd like, follow, and share the Traveling Cheesehead podcast. Send it to someone who always wants to do everything in an area, or someone who comes home exhausted after a trip instead of inspired. Until next time, my friends, keep your tank full, the plan's flexible, and your curiosity wide open.